First time I opened this manga, I genuinely thought that I was getting into this adorable story about magic. But as I continued reading, I quickly realized that I had been dragged into something really terrifying. There are manga with scary powers, destructive abilities, earth-shattering spells, but nothing comes close to how disturbing Witch Hat Atelier's magic is. So today, I'm going to show you the things that make this manga's magic absolutely terrifying. This is Coco, and her biggest dream is to become a witch. She loves magic, and not just a little bit, she is absolutely obsessed. I mean, look, this girl is so desperate that when this shady traveling witch arrives into town selling mysterious magical books, Coco's like, please take my money. There's just one tiny problem. In this world, magic is something you're either born with or you're not. If you weren't lucky enough, no magic for you. She continues her regular life, she's chilling, until one day a real witch called Kifri shows up to her house. And after a little accident where a carriage breaks, he decides to repair it with magic. He needs to prepare a powerful spell, but before he starts, he gives Coco this extremely specific warning. You do not, under any circumstances, never, even if it's a life and death situation, okay? You do not go inside this room. You got it? I got it. You're sure you got it? I'm sure I got it. And what she discovers blows her mind. This dude isn't waving some wand or anything. He's literally drawing these weird looking circles. And the carriage is fixed. That's it. Coco realizes that in this world, magic is just about drawing specific patterns. And if that's the case, then maybe, just maybe, anyone can do it. So bam, she grabs the spellbook that she bought from the sketchy witch. Oh, okay, but then she finds a basic spell, starts copying the pattern, and it works! But it turns her entire house into stone. Okay, but then Kifri bursts in and saves her life, but he's not fast enough to rescue her mother? Kifri can't turn her mom back, so he decides to take Coco as his apprentice and to teach her magic so that someday she might find a way to reverse the spell and save her mother. Now that Coco discovered the dark world of magic, she also needs to learn how it works. Instead of telling you about it, let me actually show you. This right here is the true magic tool in Witch Hat Atelier, a pet. And every spell is made of three things. First, at the center of every spell is a little sign called a sigil. This determines what element you're working with, so like fire, water, air, fire, you know, that kind of stuff. Second, surrounding this little sign are the keystones. Those are even smaller signs that shape the element. So if you take a wind sign and add a long line, for example, you might get wind powerful to push a freaking boat. Or if you surround a tiny water sign with a bunch of small keystones, you might get a bubble. And third, there's a circle around the entire pattern. This is what actually activates the spell. So if that circle isn't closed, nothing's going to happen. But the second you connect that line, boom, magic, baby. Sigil plus keystone plus circle. Super simple. But as witches become stronger, they develop techniques that push these drawings to insane levels. Like turning the spell on and off by drawing half a circle on one object and half on another, such as these two rings that create heat when you put them together, or flipping the signs to create opposite effects, like making an object smaller instead of making it bigger, or even linking several circles with lines to combine them, which creates stuff like a sword that separates any freaking liquid. Precision of your drawing directly changes how good your spell is. It's literally draw better equals you're a better witch. If your hand shakes while drawing, or if your lines are too long or too short, this can have a completely different effect from what you wanted, like creating a water jet instead of a regular bubble, which means that witches also take the time to figure out what tool is the best for them. From a needle that can inscribe spells onto rocks, to a stone wrapped in cloth, to the literal ton of different inks. There are so many weird and wacky inventions. So now the question is, if magic is literally just drawing circles with ink, if anyone can do it, then why the heck isn't everyone doing it? To answer that, we need to dive into the history of magic in this world, back when everyone did use magic. A long time ago, there was a beautiful city. People lived in ridiculous luxury. They had gold, they had jewelry, everything. But if someone wasn't from their city, they treated them terribly. Rumors about this place spread, and people started coming from everywhere, hoping to get some of that sweet wealth. But the city, They didn't like this, so they built an entrance shaped like a giant snake. If someone was poor, sick, or couldn't benefit the city in some way, the snake would prevent them from passing through. In the beginning, the city became even richer, but with time, even the people living there started hating each other. Those who weren't contributing enough were deemed worthless. And what happened to these worthless people? They were turned into gold with magic. This continued until one day they had created a mountain of gold, and eventually the weight of all these transformed people collapsed on the city, crushing everyone under the very wealth they'd created. Today, all that's left is the snake entrance. This is kind of crazy, but the truth is just one horrible event. There were tons of them just like this one, and even way worse. The way Witch Hat Atelier shows this history of magic is really messed up. The fact that everyone had the ability to use magic is precisely what made it so freaking dangerous. Because people, just as usual, did the most horrible things possible. But after seeing civilization nearly destroy itself with all this magic, the surviving witches did something terrifying. They implemented 2 laws. Number 1, they completely banned any magic that touches the human body. No healing spells, no transformation magic, no teleportation. All of this became forbidden magic. And number 2, which is where things get truly disturbing, they started this worldwide deception and told everyone that magic is something you're born with, not something anyone can learn. And to keep this lie going, they created Knights Morales, basically the magic police. If anyone discovers the truth about magic, these guys can show up and literally erase their memory. No trial, no investigation. If they even suspect you know something, it's over. I know losing your memory might not sound that bad compared to being turned into gold, but think about what memories actually are. Imagine waking up one day and all the people you've met are suddenly strangers. Everything you knew is just gone. And the worst part, you'd never even know it was taken from you. Your experiences, your knowledge, your relationships, these things literally make you who you are. To erase memories isn't just removing information, it's like destroying a person. So why don't people use magic in this world? It's because they have no idea that they can. In Witch Hat Atelier, if they catch you, your life is over. And as I was reading all this messed up stuff, there's this one extremely intellectual thought that kept bouncing around in my head. But can't you actually do some really cool with forbidden magic? Okay, let's play a game. I'm gonna give you a situation and you tell me if you can fix this situation with magic or not. So here's this boy. He gets into an accident. The witches managed to save him, but they couldn't do anything about his legs because they were crushed by this massive boulder. Can you use magic to help him? I mean, in most anime and manga, healing magic is like the most basic innocent ability, right? The answer is no, because body magic is banned and healing magic is something you do on the body. I mean, there's a good reason for that. A while ago, some witches started going really too far with healing magic, experimenting with immortality, resurrection, and straight up human experimentation. So basically, this kid is just stuck, even though he's surrounded by people who have the ability to help him, but just aren't allowed to. Okay, here's another situation. There's a kid who's an apprentice witch, and he gets captured by an evil witch. And they use transformation magic on him to turn him into like this wolf-looking creature, okay? There's a magic necklace that can reverse the spell when it's on, but the damage is basically permanent. You have to literally hide him away because if the witch assembly found out about his condition, they might decide that, yeah, he can't live in this society. Can you use magic to turn him back? No, because transformation magic is forbidden magic as well. These situations are obviously horrible, but do you want to know what's even more insane? We actually see a witch using healing magic, and guess what? It works perfectly fine. And we even see another witch demonstrate how easy it would be to turn the wolf kid back into a normal kid. It is actually so easy to fix these freaking issues, but they're not allowed to because it's forbidden magic. And you're just sitting there constantly asking yourself, even though forbidden magic has caused so many tragedies, right? How many tragedies has the ban of forbidden magic caused? Was it really worth it? And when someone you care about is suffering right in front of you, do you follow the rules or do you break them? And the next thing I found out is that this absolutely messes with the characters' minds. So I prepared a board with a couple of characters. This side is their good side and this side is their dark side. Check this out. In the beginning, Coco is really motivated to save her mom, right? You know, she learns magic, she experiments with new spells, she tries to become better. But the more she learns about magic, the more she realizes that saving her mother might be impossible with regular magic. And that's why there are several moments where she genuinely considers forbidden magic. Look at Kifri. He's the perfect mentor archetype. He's always encouraging his students, he's patient, he looks like a runway model. But here's the thing, we learned that when he was a kid, the evil witches took his eye and chunks of his memory in the process. And now he's obsessed with hunting down the witches. The manga explicitly states that Kifri has hope and is willing to sacrifice anything to see it realized. Anything. Even the shady witch, all she wanted was to sell some books and make her parents proud. Okay, that's a lie. Okay, but seriously, one of the things that makes the magic truly disturbing is that it forces every single character into this morally gray area. Nobody's purely good or evil. They're all just people trying to do their best in a completely broken world. They all live in this society where witches live comfortable lives while everyone else is struggling. Most fantasy stories present us with a pretty clear path forward. Something like the evil wizard will be defeated and the heroes will create a better world. But Witch Hat Atelier doesn't do that at all. At first glance, everything seems pretty straightforward. Pointed hat witches are the good guys, brim hats are the villains, and the knights morales are just enforcing the law. But the deeper you get, the more you realize that that's not really the case. All of this was already messed up, but as I kept getting deeper into this manga, my eyes couldn't believe what the author did. Characters pose floating against this pitch black background that creates this incredible atmosphere. The cape is transforming into this mystical smoke that dissolves into the darkness around him. Every single element in this panel works together to create this perfect showcase of how beautiful magic can be. But at the same time, the manga hits you with panels like these that completely flip that beauty on its head. These images just show you how twisted and horrifying magic can become in the wrong hands. The same artistic precision that makes the beautiful scenes so captivating makes these disturbing moments absolutely ugh. This visual contrast is what makes the horror elements hit so much harder. The author doesn't hold back at all when things get dark. She applies the same meticulous attention to both the wonder and the terror of magic. It's this consistency that genuinely makes the darkness feel like a natural extension of the beauty rather than something separate from it. Magic itself is completely neutral, a tool that can create either good things or terrible things depending on who's using it. And this is what makes the horror elements hit so much harder. Top of that, the author found a way to do something that I've literally never seen in any other manga or anime, to make the magic explanations not boring. Look at this panel where they're explaining the different types of elemental magic. In any other series, this would be the most boring info dump moment where you read about how the power system works. The author turns this exposition into one of the most visually stunning pages in the entire chapter, if not the entire manga. It's like if someone was explaining the basics of how to throw a punch, but instead of a lame demonstration, they showed you the most breathtaking fight choreography you've ever seen. The information is still there, but it's wrapped in this gorgeous visual package that makes you want to stare at it. And this solves one of the biggest freaking problems every magic system faces: the exposition dump. Most manga with detailed power systems eventually hit these points where the story suddenly kind of stops while someone explains how everything works, and it often feels like you're reading a dictionary instead of a story. Witch Hat Atelier still has these explanation moments, but Shirahama found this brilliant solution that's so simple and yet so freaking genius. She makes every single panel containing these explanations a visual masterpiece. Instead of just skimming through them to get the good parts, all you want to do is slow down and absorb every detail because the explanations themselves have become the good parts. Most manga treat their magic system like this awesome force to beat evil, but Witch Hat Atelier makes its magic system much more disturbing because it forces you to question what you would do in this situation.